Hello, Markee Dragon, also known as Marcus Eikenberry in real life, and I want to discuss a subject that keeps coming back. And the subject is what is the real deal with Markee Dragon? What does Markee Dragon do? What does Markee Dragon not do? And Markee Dragon is not only my my kind of game name and such. It's also the name of my website, and where we do game code sales, and it really stands for, it's kind of the name of my company as well. And so what I keep getting, or what we keep seeing, is a lot of people coming to us with questions or seeing complaints that, how can you let Markee Dragon into this? They support RMT, they hack the games, they support people getting their accounts stolen, stuff like this. Well, let me set the record straight. There is nothing that you will find since March 2010 of anything that Markee Dragon, myself, or the company, or the website has done that violates the terms of service of any game. And what did we do before that? We had one of the largest sites in the world for account buying and selling and trading. And we had millions of hits a month for that, and we gave all that up because really we made a fundamental change in the way we do business and decided that we no longer wanted to support anything that violated the terms of service of a video game, even though it was very profitable for us. Now, the markets are not profitable like that nowadays, so don't think that there's some vacuum here you can go fill since we're out of the market and such. That, of course, was a determining factor in it, that we noticed that this whole market was in decline, and that's because the game companies, game publishers, have been battling it for quite a long time. And so we decided that we were going to make this change. And we did. Since then, we have worked not against the game companies, but with the game companies. And there have been several instances where we have been able to get more of these RMT type markets legitimized. And in fact, we've got some projects that I can't tell. Unfortunately, I've got a non-disclosure agreement on this, so I can't give you any of the details or tell you who it is or whatnot. But there is more than one game releasing this year that we have had some sort of influence on for the external markets that will appear around these games. So let's just say that we were working with everybody, not against everybody. So yes, you can go find, if you Google Markee Dragon, you can go find a whole bunch of stuff out there that says, oh my God, Markee Dragon is so bad. Look at the age of it. Look at what we were really doing. We really weren't, we never sold gold. We never farmed gold. We did sell accounts, but we never sold our own accounts. We were always selling other people's accounts, and what we were doing is we were processing the transactions. Just making sure that there was no fraud on either side, for the people buying the accounts or for the people who were selling them. And really, it's just been all about honest business, and we've always been 100% upfront about what we're doing. And 100% upfront right now is we do nothing that violates the terms of service of any game. So when you see your buddies talking about us saying, hey, these guys are so evil, why are you doing that? Refer to this video. Or refer to the one that we did in March 2010 that said that we were leaving that portion of the industry. So anyway, I just wanted to get that out there again because those comments just keep persisting. And I don't look at it personally. I do not look at this as something that is a black mark in our past. This, really, I'm always the optimist. And while there are people who believed that it was, unethical and such, I look on it back now as it really was a very good learning experience for us to know how to manage fraud in these kinds of markets. And much of my success in the video game industry with anti-fraud and such comes from those kinds of transactions. And did you know that, when we pioneered this stuff, nobody else was really doing this. There was a couple of eBay auctions around. There was not really anybody else doing this stuff. And the game companies, in fact, didn't even know about this stuff. They had heard some grumblings about some cash sales for some stuff, and they thought, wow, this is pretty cool. Well, we, in fact, we did for Ultima Online. Ultima Online, they didn't have any policy on this stuff, and that's where we started. And we started that, I think it was November of '97. And it was just 2 months after the game opened. And nobody had ever thought of this kind of stuff before. There was a little bit that happened in Meridian 59 and stuff, but none of it ever got any press. None of that. And we decided to do it right. And we decided to take it head on and bring honor to the market and safety to the market. And that's why we formed the brokers, the team of brokers. I think there was 8 of us. And we worked together for the safety of the community and to make a living. I mean, we all made a living at this. But back then, they didn't know about what it was. And it wasn't until maybe a couple years later, or maybe it was just a year later, that game companies started to say, hey, maybe we shouldn't do this. And that was primarily prompted by the legal departments of the different game companies. Because over in Korea, they were starting to do this stuff, and they were just going crazy. In fact, they were publishing reports in the newspapers about the sales, the weekly sales of, how many dollar volume people were selling of this stuff. And so it really is, it's much of a cultural thing. And so in the Asian markets, it was very acceptable. And in the Western markets, it became not so acceptable. But we were there before it was determined as anything. And it went as far as that when EA had Ultima Online, after they bought Origin Systems, and they grandfathered us in. They put out a policy that the sales were not okay. And when they did that, they left my broker team alone. And they said, and this is a quote, and I think I can say this now, they said, we will not publicly endorse you, but we're not going to do anything against you either. And that was because we were doing good, honorable business. And they didn't mind the business. What they didn't like was the technical support. And if you look at my interview with Jeffrey Zatkins, he was one of the original EverQuest designers, and he was one of the original core team making EverQuest, and he was actually the catalyst for me taking a look at what we were doing in the market and how it could be harmful for the games that was violating the terms of service. And so, with Ultima Online, we went for many, many years. I think we went for over 10 years providing these services before we stopped. And they didn't bug our team, and that's because we were grandfathered in and doing a good job, even though their public statement was otherwise. But getting back to Jeffrey Zatkins, he talked about how it caused so much technical support for EverQuest, and EverQuest never approved anybody, silently or otherwise, until much later when they developed their own transfer system, sales system that I forget what the name of the company was that actually ran that for them. It was some sort of third-party agreement, I believe. Anyway, I'm getting sidetracked here, but you can tell that I'm passionate about people knowing the truth and everything. And if you have questions on this, please feel free to message me in YouTube. And send me a private message. I don't always read all of the comments on the videos. I read a lot, but I don't always read all of them. But send me a message in YouTube, and it'll eventually get to me. If it's something that I can answer quickly, I may just reply to you. Or if it's something that I think a lot of people have that question, I may do a follow-up video. But I will answer anything openly and honestly about our past and about what we're currently doing, as long as it doesn't violate any of our non-disclosure agreements that we have with any game companies or such. Anyway, I'm Markee Dragon. Oh, wait, hey. you want a code? Let's do a code. Don't want to forget the code. Okay, so let's see. This is the same one we gave away in our last video. Let me find a different one here. Blackshot Europe. A Silver Dragon bundle. It's worth 16 euros and gets you a bunch of stuff in Blackshot Europe. If you don't have an account, click on the link down below and get yourself an account. We have a few more of these to give away. I have maybe another 7 or 8 Blackshot Europe to give away. And we will, if you want a chance at it, you got to have an account to redeem this. And so that's why I say make an account now, so that you have a better chance of redeeming it. Go take a look at the game though and try it out. It's free to play. So if you, for some reason, don't like it, you don't have to worry about it next time I give away a code. You haven't really spent much time, but if you do like it, watch for the next code. So here we go. Let's make sure that gets in focus. And there we go. Okay, have fun in the game. I'm Markee Dragon. Take care.